I forgot my lines. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Cheesemate and Chill, where we spill the cheesemate and we chill. Today, we are going to be talking about, number one, the vice presidential debate, which I think I have at the end here on my little tablet with my notes. We're going to be going over the Cardi B and Offset drama. As little as I know about it, we're going to look at it today. Chapel Rowan, the Menendez brothers, Ariana Grande and Ethan Slater update, kind of, and just wanted to make a final note on, not a final note on the P. Diddy situation. Obviously, there's going to be way more that comes out, but wanted to say something about that. So I guess in order, I didn't put this in any particular order. Cardi B and Offset, do we think they're going to get back together? I feel like they might. But at the same time, their internet drama has never been this intense, at least from what I know and what I've seen. If you don't know what's going on, Cardi B and Offset have been in a long-term relationship marriage. They have kids together, and it has been widely known that Offset is a pathological cheater. It's been speculated, and it's also been confirmed by Cardi B herself. The last time it came out that he cheated on her, she did get a little bit snippy in her lives with people because, you know, they were like, how can you forgive him? And they were really getting on her, and she was kind of just like, my decision, mind your business, which, I mean, I guess true. She took him back, and a few months later, now it seems to really be over. She's been going on live, talking about their relationship, talking about all the cheating, and he commented that she slept with somebody when she was pregnant with his child, and she was like, yep, I did that, kind of like so, which is kind of a slay in my opinion. I think the internet has a pretty much the same opinion. I haven't seen any sides of the internet where like anyone disagrees with her, to be honest. It could also be the way my algorithm is, but that's what's going on there. I hope she does leave him this time for real, because not only is she beautiful, but she has a lot going on for herself, and she is genuinely funny. Like, and I don't say that about a lot of celebrities, because a lot of celebrities are not that funny, including comedians. But she's funny. So hopefully she moves on for him, because yeah, I think we're all over him like cheating on her. But anyway, that's that. The next thing, and I want to tread carefully when I talk about really famous people, because especially if I'm speaking kind of against them, because I know that like fan bases are really strong, especially like the Swifties. But today we're not talking about Taylor Swift. We're talking about Chapel Rowan. So, am I saying her name right? I hope I am. I have not heard a single song by her, and that's honestly because, well, I've been obsessed with Sabrina Carpenter lately, and Short and Sweet has just been all I've listened to since it came out. And even before that, I was jamming out to Espresso, and then Please, Please, Please came out. And before that, I was heavily into like SZA and anything R&B, Jhené Aiko. And I don't really like to make time to listen to new artists. And I heard that she was up and coming, but I just never had a chance to listen to her music. I'm sure her music is good. Obviously, it has to be for her to be. She kind of just came up out of nowhere, like her name, her fame. So what I'm hearing as of lately, is that she had a show that she was supposed to have. I forgot what state or what city. And she canceled because essentially she needed like a mental health day. She said that, you know, there was a lot going on and da-da-da. And from what I could see, people were generally upset about this, because it's like, you know, we all need mental health days. Why are you abandoning all of these fans? We paid all these tickets. And listen, I'm sure they either gave refunds or reissued tickets, but I mean, it doesn't change the fact that like people could have flown out to see her, this and that. And I'm not going to claim to understand or know what it's like to be that famous, obviously, but I mean, going from, and how old is she too? Let me see. How old is Chapel Roan? She's 20. Oh, she's 26. She's 26. Oh, she's my age. She's a year younger because she'll be 27 next year. I'll be 27 this year. Doesn't matter. So this is an article from fortune.com called Chapel Roan drops out of music festival to prioritize health, September 27th. On the heels of blasting the abuse and harassment accompanying fame to her 3.4 million TikTok followers, prompting ridicule and pushback, pop music sensation Chapel Roan has pulled out of a major music festival, citing a need to prioritize my health. I apologize to people who have been waiting to see me in New York City and DC this weekend to All Things Go, but I am unable to perform. The hot to go singer, referring to the festival she was to headline in both New York City and Washington, D.C., shared in an Instagram story, "Things have gotten overwhelming over the past few weeks and I am really feeling it." In the story, also shared by the All Things Go account, she continued, "I feel pressure to prioritize a lot of things right now and I need a few days to prioritize my health. I want to present when I perform and give the best shows possible. Thank you for understanding. Be back soon." I mean, you either going to understand it or you don't. I do think just because of videos I've seen on TikTok of her, I don't think most people are prepared for overnight fame. And there's a lot that comes with it, I'm sure. And I don't know that maybe she'll get used to it, but she seems to be really sensitive to, not sensitive because I would be sensitive too, but she doesn't have, like, you know how like celebrities that have, like Sabrina Carpenter, for example, I don't think she was famous overnight. You could tell she had like kind of the slow burn over the years. And so she's very graceful when it comes to anything PR, you know? And I think Chapel Roan is just not PR trained yet. And she will be eventually. She'll learn how to navigate the internet, what to ignore, what not to ignore. I know one of the first and probably only videos I've ever seen of her, she was really stressed out about people forcing her to endorse one of the political parties. And she kind of just said like they both suck, but obviously one sucks worse. And curious to see why she thinks that. But you know what? If she doesn't want to talk about politics, she doesn't have to. But I think she was really feeling the pressure. And yeah, I mean, I hope that she eventually, I guess, gets used to it and then can continue to express herself. But it sucks because even sometimes, like, I love to sing. I don't know that I'm the best singer in the world, but the reason why I've never pursued it, number one, because again, I don't know that I'm very good. But two, even if I was, I would be afraid of the fame that's attached to it. Because I love music. I love expressing myself through music. But I don't know that I would love millions and millions and millions of eyes on me all the time. You know, because once you're famous, you can't, I don't know if you can control how famous you get. Like Justin Bieber type famous, Sabrina Carpenter, Taylor Swift, Chapel Roan, their level of fame just seems very overwhelming. But if you were a fan that bought a ticket and she flaked last minute or whatever, and you guys flew out and maybe you're like, I don't want to support her anymore, I'm pissed, I wouldn't blame you. I would not blame you. But that's kind of where I land with her. So the next topic on my list is going to be the Menendez brothers. And I'm a little anxious and nervous to talk about this because I don't know that I have the most popular opinion on these guys, Eric and Lyle Menendez. So if you guys don't know the story, I will tell it to the best of my knowledge. But essentially, there were these two brothers that were accused and convicted of murdering their father and their mother. And the prosecution argued that they did it for the money and that they were spoiled brats and that they went on a shopping spree right after it happened. And that it was just, let's kill them so we can have all their money. The defense argued and exposed that the boys were actually victims of sexual assault by their father, and their mother was a bystander. So she knew what was going on and didn't say anything or do anything about it. when it comes to, and the reason why it's coming up now, because this case is pretty old, but it's coming up now for a couple of different reasons. Number one, because Ryan Murphy, who to my knowledge is the writer / creator of American Horror Story, which to me is already kind of a red flag because American Horror Story is demonic and creepy. I used to watch it, and then the closer I got to God, the more I'm kind of like, maybe this isn't for me. It's a little violent. I mean, if you like horror stuff, go for it, but it's just not for me anymore. But anyway, he created a show called Monsters that's based on the Menendez brothers. And the brothers, who are in prison now, expressed their disdain, you could say, towards the show. And when Ryan Murphy responded, he basically said, like, well, clearly you guys didn't watch the show, but I mean, for me personally, I think it's distasteful. I don't like that he made the show. Listen, I watched the first 20 minutes only because I knew I was going to speak on it today. And I wanted to kind of give an opinion, but I couldn't watch it. I mean, it makes the boys look really bad. And I'm not like 100% they were victims, but I'm not 100% they were spoiled little brats. Like, I'll tell you guys my opinion in a second. I'm holding off because I don't think it's going to be very popular. Okay, so anyway, that's reason number one. Number two, Netflix is coming out with another documentary because the show Monsters is, well, it's not a documentary. It's actually formatted like they're acting out what happened to them. They also, I didn't see this myself, but I heard that there were scenes of the brothers actually doing stuff to each other sexually, which is just, that's, the brothers deny. And if they did or they didn't, none of my business, to be honest. I would rather not know that stuff. But anyway, so this is my thing. From an administration of justice standpoint, okay, I do think that, well, I have a couple opinions. Okay. I think that they should have another trial because in the first trial, there was a mistrial or a hung jury where half of them wanted to vote guilty and half wanted to vote, or I don't know if it was guilty or not guilty, but basically half of them sympathized with the brothers and half of them didn't. So it was a hung jury. And then in the second trial, sexual allegation charges or allegations against the father were not permitted in the trial, meaning that jury in the second trial knew nothing about the father being accused of sexually assaulting the boys. I don't know why they omitted that from the second trial. I have no idea. But for that reason, I think that a jury needs to have the whole picture. And honestly, even if they do get a new trial today, it's going to be really hard for it to be fair because so many people know about them. There are many documentaries. And I think, especially with this Monsters movie or show, I mean, the show just made them look really bad. Like, they're really douchey and arrogant. And honestly, we don't know that they were or weren't. Because all we see is clips from the trial, which is either them kind of standing loud and proud or them really upset talking about what happened to them. But we wouldn't gauge their personality from a trial or trial footage. So with that being said, number one, if it was up to me, they would get another trial. Two, I do not believe that they should be in prison today. I don't. Do I think they should have been convicted in the first place? This is tricky because I'm seeing, things on the internet, people spreading news that's not all true. People are denying the fact that they went on a spending spree. They did. I did watch the original documentaries where the prosecution is going through receipts of them going on a spending spree. Now, does them going on a spending spree mean or negate the fact that they were abused by their dad? No. I believe that they were abused by their dad. And to be honest with you, if I was in their position, well, I don't know if I can kill somebody, but let's assume for the sake of the argument that I could, I'd be like, it would be like a double whammy type of thing. Like, I'm angry with you because you did this not only to me, but to my brother. And number two, you have a lot of money. So yeah, I'm going to go spend it. You have to look at the whole picture is what I'm saying. And I do think that two things can be true at once because they did go, I think, to my knowledge, it was Rolexes and a Porsche. That's what I know. And maybe they didn't. I mean, I don't know. Listen, the only two people that really know what happened are Eric and Lyle. They did not get a fair trial. And I don't think that they pose a threat to society if they were to be released. Those are my opinions, if you will. But yeah, I'm going to stop it there because I don't want to. I already feel like the internet is very, very, very pro Eric and Lyle. And I'm not saying I'm not, but I want to be truthful in the fact that I think that it was because they were victims and maybe a little bit because they wanted more freedom with the money. Either way, though, I don't think they should still be in jail. No, I think the circumstances that led them to the death of their parents would be very difficult to replicate now. And I don't think it would happen again. But anyway, those are my thoughts on that. Feel free to give me your thoughts in the comments below as well as if you've seen the Menendez or the Monsters documentary. What are your thoughts? I didn't appreciate Ryan Murphy's response. I thought it was really insensitive. This is going to be a B.5 to edit because it just cut me off twice. And I'm just going to lower the quality of the video. Hopefully it's not bad. I just made it like HD 30 frames per second instead of 4K 60 frames per second. Hopefully it's not that much of a difference. But I'm tired of getting cut off, so I'm just going to do it like that so I can talk freely. The next thing, and this is a much shorter topic because there's not really much to say, but Ariana Grande kind of, sort of, finally spoke on the Ethan Slater drama. So you guys know Wicked is coming out in November, and I'm actually really excited about it. I'm not really like a musical girly, except for a High School Musical, but I don't know if that counts. But yeah, so her and her co-star were doing like interviews with Vanity Fair, and let me see if I can find what she had to say. Okay, so this is people.com. Ariana Grande defends boyfriend Ethan Slater from public criticism. That scared me so bad. My cats just dropped something in the room. Couldn't be less accurate, what she says. This was written by Gabrielle Roxon on people.com on September 30th. So, speaking in a new interview with Vanity Fair, published Monday, September 30th, Grande, 31, revealed that she was disappointed by the public perception of Slater, 32, whom she stars alongside in the upcoming Wicked movie. The most disappointing part was to see so many people believe the worst version of it, she told the outlet. There couldn't be a less accurate depiction of a human being than the one that the tabloids spread about him. Grande, who plays Glinda alongside Slater's Bach in the fantasy musical, added, No one on this earth tries harder or spreads themselves thinner to be there for the people that he loves and cares about. There is no one on this earth with a better heart, and that is something that no bullish tabloid can rewrite in real life, she said. So, she's defending her boyfriend, as any woman would do. I don't think, the general consensus of the internet, we're not buying it. But you know what? I think I'm not mad at her anymore. I think if I was mad at her, I don't think she cares. I don't want to speak on my opinions on that whole situation because it's over at this point, and I don't want to refuel any fires or hate trains towards her. All I can do is hope that everyone involved has found peace. I hope that he is seeing his child that he had previously. I'm sure he is, if what she's saying is true about him. And I hope this is her last relationship. And if it's not, let's just hope the next person is single, for God's sake. That's all I'm going to say on that. So, before I move on to the vice presidential debate, which, again, I don't know if I have a lot to say on, first let me see if this is still recording. It is. Lowering the quality did something. Okay. So P. Diddy and the celebrity involvement. Okay, guys, hold on. Can I just say, for everybody on the internet right now that's giving all of these celebrities credit, saying, see, I knew Eminem. I'm going to use Eminem as an example because he is named with a couple of other people. I knew Eminem and he didn't go to these parties. We stand with Eminem. Da 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 da. He gave us warnings. Go Eminem. Da da da. First of all, we don't know for sure that he knew about it. His lyrics to some of these songs are giving us kind of a sign that he knew about it. But let's say he had nothing to do with any of that. He didn't. Okay, let's say if you were a celebrity and you knew about what was going on in Diddy's home and you knew enough to write songs about it, but you didn't care enough to report it or do something about it, in my opinion, you are in the same shitty circle. I said it. Don't cancel me. Please. I hope this lands on the right outside of the algorithm, or if people are mad, they don't stay mad for very long. But that's how I feel. If you knew about it and you didn't participate, you still were a bystander and you're still a jackass. That's how I see it, especially if there's children involved. Can you imagine being a celebrity, knowing that that's going on and knowing that there are minors, and we don't know that he knew that they were minors, okay? But knowing that that's going on and being like, couldn't be me, but then writing lyrics about it and then never going to the police. Never doing like a tell-all exposing everything. And supposedly Eminem and all these guys aren't afraid of anything, right? Because let's be honest, if he was afraid, he wouldn't have put out lyrics that even remotely exposed Diddy. I'm personally not jumping on a train to root for people in the industry if I think that they knew about it and did nothing. I get so mad thinking about that. If you know something's happening and you don't say something, you are just as guilty, period. Okay. I feel like I just signed my cancellation. Sorry, this is how I feel. I feel very strongly about it because it involves children, adolescents, and that's all I had to say about that. Until we learn more about P. Diddy, which I'm sure we will. The last and final thing I came on to say, today's not going to be a long episode. Seems like it's only going to be about 30 minutes. But the last and final thing I wanted to touch on was the vice presidential debate. Did we all see it? Did we see that? First of all, I just want to be positive for a second. And I just want to say I love and I appreciate the fact that everybody on stage, JD Vance and Tim Walz, were so respectful and so courteous of one another. I was very surprised to see the behavior. And I thought they spoke with decorum that we have not seen in a debate in a very long time. However, there were things that we should discuss. So I only sat and really watched the first, I want to say like 40 minutes. And then it was boring me because there was no jabs. There was no like crazy accusations being thrown. You know what I mean? And so I stopped watching it. But I have since seen a couple of clips of things that are ever so slightly concerning. Number one being, I don't understand why we can't just admit that Trump lost the 2020 election. Like, are we all sane enough to at least, even if you like him, are we sane enough to acknowledge, even if we think it was rigged, I don't. But even if we think that, he lost. You guys know that, right? Like, we know that? So, anyway, he wouldn't admit that, which, okay. The only thing I'm going to say in his defense is if he said, yeah, no, he did lose or anything along those lines, he'd probably be fired immediately because we know how that man works. Or two, if he said, no, he didn't lose, then his approval ratings would go even further down because Trump supporter or not, people in general want results to be respected, their vote to count. And so the other thing that Walz asked was if Trump lost the election, would he certify the results? Asking Vance if he would certify the results, and he wouldn't answer the question. And again, if he did, and he said yes, Mike Pence did it, and look what happened to him. But if he said no, there goes his approval ratings, which they were pretty bad. From what I'm hearing, though, both of their approval ratings have gone up since the debate. And it's hard to believe J.D. Vance, though, only because all I've seen of him are these really extreme views. And so to see him kind of speaking, and he seemed a little bit more liberal, not fully, but he seemed a little more like, not that he wanted to make abortion illegal federally, which he has said before that he did, but he seemed more like he wanted to leave it up to the states, which is what Trump said. But now Vance is saying that, even though prior he had said it should be illegal. So, it's okay to change your mind, obviously, but it seemed like he changed his mind on every one of his stances. So I don't know, whoever trained him before this was very good, and he obviously listened very well. But you guys know who I'm voting for. I don't really care I don't even care if Walz, stuttered and fainted. My vote, you guys already know. But anyway, those are my thoughts on the vice presidential debate. And, it's just wild. But anyway, that's my episode for today. It's not very long, but you know what? I'm going to have to edit this anyway because the stupid video and all this stuff. I'm going to make a list of things to talk about next time. Hopefully we get a baddies freaking reunion. I'm getting sick of this. I am so sick of this. Coming soon when? Because I'm not watching the auditions. You can't pay me to watch the auditions. I don't care for that. And I don't know, are they still editing it? I don't understand what the problem is. And I almost wish I had the willpower to just start like a movement where we all just stop or we cancel Zeus until they release every part of the reunion. But I don't have the willpower to wait if they release it all the weeks until they're all out. And I don't know that you guys do. If y'all do it, I'll do it. How about that? But I'm just like, you guys need to be on a schedule. I need to see it on Sundays. I'm a little annoyed that they're making us wait this long, but whatever, bastards. Okay, thank you guys so much for chismeando and chilling with me today. Until next week, or I get to 5 topics. Bye.